Like, comment, and share this video. Let's help more people protect their financial future. A 145% tariff on Chinese products has just been imposed, and China didn't sit still. They hit back hard. The results? Prices are skyrocketing, markets are in turmoil, and your wallet will feel the impact much sooner than you think. In this video, we'll break down what's really happening behind this trade war, and most importantly, how you can protect your finances right now. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. Background on the U.S.-China trade crisis. The relationship between the United States and China has always been intense. Sometimes a partnership, sometimes a rivalry. From 1979, when they first strengthened trade ties, to China's entry into the World Trade Organization in 2001, their trade relationship only grew. This historic partnership reshaped global commerce, fueling the rise of the world's two biggest economies and setting the stage for today's economic landscape. But now, we're witnessing a new chapter. The U.S. has imposed a historic 145% tariff on Chinese goods. China responded swiftly with an 84% tariff on American products. These actions reflect years of unresolved tensions and growing geopolitical conflicts. This standoff didn't happen overnight. It's the result of decades of accumulated friction where economic, technological, and political interests became deeply entangled. And like any war, this one comes at a price. Yours. The impact on your wallet could come much faster than you expect. Quick pause. Let us know in the comments. Do you think this trade war will end in a deal or get even worse? China's economic growth. China's rise has been remarkable. Massive investments in infrastructure, dominance in low-cost manufacturing, and an aggressive strategy to enter global markets. The Chinese government's approach was clear. Grow at all costs, using state power to boost strategic sectors of the economy. The numbers speak for themselves. 400 million people lifted out of poverty in just a few decades. Since 2001, China's economy has grown to be 11 times larger, a historic achievement. This growth turned China into not just an industrial powerhouse, but also a major player in global economic discussions. But it wasn't without controversy. Accusations of illegal subsidies, currency manipulation, and discrimination against foreign businesses became common. These practices bred mistrust in many countries, fueling protectionist moves in the current trade war. China has also been accused of using its influence to control global supply chains and engage in tech espionage. Such rapid and aggressive expansion inevitably triggers both admiration and concern on the global stage. Reflection. Big growth brings big responsibilities. But is everyone playing fair? Structure of U.S.-China trade. Today, the U.S. imports 3 times more from China than it exports there. This creates a huge trade deficit that has bothered American leaders for years. This imbalance is seen as a threat to U.S. manufacturing and a strategic vulnerability. Here's how the tariffs evolved. First round, 20%, then 54% later, 84%, followed by 104% and now 145%. Each round of increases trigger proportional retaliation from China, creating a domino effect. What started as isolated measures has spiraled into a series of escalating retaliations, with no clear end in sight. And this isn't just about goods. It's about jobs, prices, investments, and trust in system. The trade war's dynamics directly affect the daily lives of millions of people on both sides of the Pacific. Visual summary. Each tariff equals less trade, equals more tension, equals slower global growth. Immediate economic impacts. Get ready. The impact is already here. It's estimated that the price of an iPhone could jump up to 67%. And it's not just tech. Appliances, clothing, toys, and even food will feel the hit. Price hikes are affecting not only luxury items, but also everyday essentials, making life more expensive for everyone. Previously, goods under $800 were tariff-free. Now, everything is being taxed. Amazon, Walmart, and other retail giants have already warned. Across-the-board price hikes are coming. This shift may also push consumers to change their habits, looking for domestic or alternative international products. For everyday shoppers, it'll feel like a silent inflation, paying more and getting less. Household budgets will be squeezed, demanding better financial planning and awareness. Pro tip: stock up on essential goods before prices rise across the board. Mutual dependence between the U.S. and China. Despite the conflict, the truth is the U.S. and China need each other. This interdependence has been built over decades and can't be undone quickly without serious consequences. 14% of the products consumed in the U.S. come from China. China is the largest export market for the U.S., accounting for 7% of American overseas sales. These numbers show that abruptly cutting trade ties will be damaging to both sides. This relationship brings key benefits: lower prices for American consumers, millions of jobs created both directly and indirectly, bilateral investments worth trillions of dollars, not to mention American companies gaining access to one of the fastest-growing consumer markets in the world. It's like a marriage of interests. Argument happened, but a divorce would be way too painful. Issues related to trade with China. Of course, this relationship isn't perfect. There are serious problems. And these issues have become key arguments for imposing tariffs and pursuing protectionist policies. The deindustrialization of the U.S., with millions of manufacturing jobs lost, is partly blamed on Chinese competition. Entire industries moved to Asia, impacting whole regions across the United States. There are also concerns about industrial and tech espionage, like in the TikTok case, currency manipulation, where China artificially weakens the yuan to boost exports, labor rights violations, with factories operating under harsh conditions. These factors fuel the argument that, while trade with China has brought benefits, it's also created deep vulnerabilities. The challenge now is finding a balance that keeps the benefits without ignoring the risks. Consequences to the U.S. market. The famous U.S.-China trade deficit reflects cultural differences. While the Chinese save, Americans spend. This difference creates structural impacts on the trade balance and wealth formation for both countries. With the new tariffs, prices will go up, but it's important to understand that tariffs affect importers first, and not necessarily the final price for consumers in the same proportion. The impact will be gradual and vary depending on the type of product. There's also growing uncertainty. China could start selling off large amounts of U.S. Treasury bonds, pushing up interest rates. Confidence in the dollar as a global reserve currency could be shaken. Trade partnerships in Latin America and Europe might start seeking alternatives outside the U.S. This instability could reshape the global economic landscape in the coming years. The result? A more volatile financial market and a less predictable business environment. Future outlook. There are two possible paths ahead. Each one would have deep consequences for the global economy and for your personal life. Optimistic scenario. Negotiations resume, bilateral agreements are signed, tariffs are gradually reduced, confidence and investments return. This solution would require compromises on both sides but could prevent greater damage. Pessimistic scenario. The trade war drags on. Companies relocate to other countries like Vietnam and India. Supply chains break down. Investments shrink and global growth slows. This outcome could mean years of instability and weak economic growth. Political changes, especially in the U.S., could quickly shift the course of these policies. Stay alert. In times of rapid change, information is power. Personal recommendations from a video creator. Given everything we've discussed, what can you do to protect your financial future? The steps you take now can make a huge difference later. Cut expenses. Avoid unnecessary purchases. Adjust your budget and eliminate non-essentials. Invest for the long term. Look for assets that can withstand economic volatility, like global funds and strong stocks. Make planned purchases early. If you need imported or tech products, buy them before prices spike. Stay informed. Keep an eye on trade negotiations, as they directly impact financial markets. Remember, those who prepare, prosper. Don't wait for a crisis to act. Now's the time to strengthen your financial knowledge and build a more secure future. Protect your present and build your future with smart, strategic moves. We're living in uncertain times, but also times of great opportunity for those who know how to position themselves. The U.S.-China trade war is a clear wake-up call. The world changes fast, and those who don't adapt get left behind. If you made it this far, you're already ahead of most people. Now it's time to take action. Adjust your budget, invest wisely, and safeguard your wealth. If this content helped you, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who needs this information, and subscribe to the channel for more practical tips on how to build a safe and prosperous financial future.